Hi there. We are going straight on to your love message. It will be a collective love message, as we are going to use the Rider-Waite deck. So it can imply that something went on in the past for you. It can imply what is going to happen. We are using something quite unusual today. We both have a cup of liquid, which we will and can scry from. But you can, in fact, use black mirrors, which is also a way of scrying. So basically what you see is you connecting to your subconscious level, and you will see what you need to see. So someone here is already keeping an eye on you, but it's like there is some kind of stagnation. So we will pick out also whatever names that is coming up to us. So basically, unusually, maybe perhaps it will be a channeling. So there will be different messages for all of you. All I have to ask is that you, in order to manage to be able to tap into your energies, and this is why I very often sometimes ask you either of a picture of a astrological composition, which it have a lot to say. If you cannot give that, obviously in this situation it's not possible. We will work solely from the cards, okay? So sometimes simply from looking for someone's picture, it sometimes is enough of what we need to know. But to make sure that things are as accurate as possible, right now it is, if you have a private appointment with me, the point is, with as much information you can give, the more we have to work from. Simply saying, oh, that woman at work, she don't like me. Then I don't use any kind of psychic powers. I use my intuition and I use my logic to simply just translate the cards. So that doesn't mean, because the cards, they don't favorize anyone. They don't, they simply tell you what energies are going on at this specific moment, okay? So the moment you exchange energies with me, sounds like a lure, but if you think a little about it, is that when there is an exchange in energies, the moment you, let's say, give away something or you throw away something, you are opening up. Let's just say you open your suitcase, and you get rid of something that takes a lot of place. And so you realize you don't really have room for that. So basically it's like saying, I want to have a little bit room for the messages that Raven are about to give. Clearly they want to go on top, and in that exchange it might be more easy for me to tap into those energies that you need to hear. I have used myself a few channels, and when they are very intensified in regards to how they resonate, that is the exact sign, and it resonates with what we needed to hear right now, because it's not just one verification. When there are minimum 3 verification in regards to what we need to hear, then we usually take that as synchronicity based. So many of you are still in that stage where you see Repeating numbers, that is the first stage. There are going to be more stages than just repeating numbers. There's going to be a specific message to you directly, okay? And so we're going to start simply with love. The reason I choose this is that because a lot of you need training but because we've seen this, many of you are in this lack mentality, and because you are in the lack mentality, or because you are in this hunter mentality, you will remain there, okay? If there is no communication between of you, there can be many reasons for this. Maybe you are in lack mentality, or maybe you are pushing your energies are pushing too intense forward to the person you have in mind. And basically when you push, what happens then? So in that sense, there is some logic to that. It doesn't matter if you're a superstar. If you are clinging on to something too hard, you can't breathe, no matter how beautiful they are, no matter how, you want to be with this guy or woman because they are this and this and this. In the end of the day, there needs to be a balance in regards to exchange of energies. Some of you could feel that you are on twin flame journey. I'm not the expert on that specific field. However, what we verify as a twin flame in some communities is that you meet each other and there are a lot of drama and complications around that, and you will be put through a test in regards to how you respect one another. Next stage will be a forced separation, where you might feel that you become more and more isolated. One will usually be the hunter, another one will be the chaser, and sometimes both are the runners. Hunter and chaser, yeah, what I meant is one will be the hunter or chaser, and one will be the runner. Because if you run towards someone, it's like an instinct, we want to run away. And the same goes if you push your energy towards someone, you're pushing them away. So if you just give your person some space, and not because many think that you're not allowed to dream about them and think about them or anything like that. That's quite individual. It depends on how you think about them. No. So if you are thinking about them with these feelings of, I wish you were mine, I wish you were here, I want you, you are basically telling the universe that you are in the state of the separation. And that is how basically, as the universe functions as a mirror, that is what you're going to experience. So there will be mixed messages here. Some of you now might feel quite happy from outside because you finally start to realize that things are falling into a place and that where you are going is blessed by Jupiter. Right now, apparently Jupiter have stagnated in Taurus, tropical, which means it could be stagnated in the next sign. I will just stick to tropical for now, all right? So that means that this could have a lot of physical gains in that sense. There is one here who really much wants to come forward to you because you have finally managed to ease down and bring yourself into unity consciousness, where you realize that all is one. And there is no but in that situation. There is, yes, but I don't feel them, but well, this is a training process, just like training your mind how to focus. This is like pulling the arrow towards that specific target right there. You need to train your arm and you need to train your mind. If you are dealing with the twin flame, which is abusive to you, apparently, according to some sources, it's not a twin flame. I am not sure this is really true, because sometimes the twin flame could reflect the direct opposite character traits that you have. And at the same time, you are similar, just like yin and yang. That means if you have a lot of compassion for animals, the other one can't stand them. If you are a little bit wild, the other one would be very sophisticated. But the point of a twin flame is that you have the same vibration, and one is more spiritual than the other. One is dedicated to God, maybe through old dogmas, and the other one is dedicated from a feminine part of you, which is to break down the old dogmas and to be more, because she's supposed to be the one who receives. Okay? And very often she ends up being the one who keeps giving, and the male keeps taking. And that is kind of an opposition, So there is someone here who is coming slowly towards some of you. Some of you could, I said to myself, don't use any specific star signs, because it could literally be any sign. However, as we move along, I'm going to reveal to you the specific star sign that the card belongs to, because it can resonate even more for you in that sense. Okay, so this card, the Wheel of Fortune, is something that represents that you could get some unexpected good news for you. And one of those good news could be someone who are either in the star sign of Virgo or have strong Virgo placement. It's someone very practical, and they're moving very slow. So it's so slow that you maybe start to rethink whether or not they have any intention in regards to settle down with you. Okay? This one is pretty sure that he will. So it's gender fluids. When I say he, is because the picture is showing up as a he. The Knight of Coins can likely be a female, a Virgo female. It could fit into my character with Venus in Virgo, because Venus is the planet that basically shows you how you love, but it needs to be like a piece of a puzzle. It needs to be attached to your sun sign and moon sign, which also are radiating and doing this dance of how to love. So someone with Sun Scorpio and then Venus in Virgo, which I have, could show love in a very clinical sense of way, but we also love to get physical things, like a token, something we can touch, because the Venus in Virgo is very, they are nurses, they are caretakers, they don't have that ickiness in regards to your body. They are very practical. You will feel very comfortable around them, or on the dark side, they could be extremely critical. So in different stages, Venus in Virgo, for a personal point of view, I have been extremely critical towards my partner into with Sun Scorpio into the degree where it's been cruel. With Pluto placed in Libra, it's boom with words that literally can kill. So be careful with how you're using your language. Okay, so if you do have Venus in Virgo, or even Venus moon as a Virgo moon, Madonna, she demands her own toilet seat when she enters the hotel. Not only is she Leo, but you know, it's about bacteria, and so the Venus in Virgo could have, you know, oh, like I am like that. I open the toilet lid with my foot. Basically, I don't want to touch that. So that's just some. So your person could have some kind of OCD in regards to bacteria. So I don't want to touch that, or be someone who showers a lot, or is very, you know, cleanliness is very important to him. I did hear a discussion between a Virgo and Aries who did not believe in astrology at all, but the discussion itself was like, well, I rest my case, but this is entertaining, because the Virgo would be like, oh, don't you just love it when a woman comes out like this with her wet hair out the shower, and you know, she's still wet, and the breasts are just like following towards you, and she smells wonderful from soap, and she's so clean. And Aries, you know, which is ruled by Mars, barbarians, would be like, ha, no, I want them to be a little bit dirty. I want to smell them, the real scent of them, you know. It's the chemistry, you know. And so I would just sit in my end of the corner and kind of basically just agree with the Virgo silently, with Venus in Virgo myself. However, when we do respond to how your partner react. If you don't like their natural body smell, that means that your genes and his genes are possibly not compatible. It is as simple as that. If you have an attraction to his voice or her voice, if you like the way your partner or your possible person smell, that is a good sign. And then the rest could be psychology. The gene, sometimes you could be attracted to someone from another culture. And that is simply just your nature, Mother Nature, seeing that the strongest ones, we see in the animal world also, that the strongest one are hybrids, you know? And we see they are very often exceptional and beautiful. Just look at Brazil. We also see that this inbreed, like Siam cat. I had an inbred Siam cat. He was adorable because he was a cat. But unfortunately, he didn't live longer than 5 years due to inbred. I had no clue that daddy cat here was very, very, very closely related to his mom. The star here is showing up in reversed, and that could be emotional insecurity. Okay, so we're going to also have a small tap at the Lenormand cards. So emotional insecurity, maybe some of you have felt some kind of ghosting, rejection, or maybe you feel that the one that you have love for, or the one that is potential for you, this energy goes vice versa, is basically you feel like, oh, I don't, you know, it's so much to live up to, you know. I could feel a little bit chubby, and you know, personally I have days where I need full skincare from something known as psoriasis. If you struggle, if you are in a period where you are struggling a lot with your hormones, you don't feel your hair is that great, or you could be critical like a Virgo in this sense. This is Aquarian energy. Aquarian energy, they demand freedom. And from all the serious relationship, a handful of relationship, that's not a lot for being European, trust me. That basically is like the most kind and comfortable relationship I was in was with Aquarius, because he wants to be hanging out with his friends today. If I were to cling on to his friends and be that girl that have to adapt to whatever he do, I have to do. No. In some times I would join the machinery, the MMORPG, also known as multimedia player online, also known as World of Warcraft. We began with a game called EverQuest. Before that, it was only writing, and before that, again, it was Dungeons and Dragons per paper. They were also into fantasy, but there were also very logic people who were into computerism. So that relationship, that brought me out of a very toxic environment, along with hard discipline, which I was met with in martial art at that point. Okay, so living for yourself, what this card also what I get here is that living a healthy life, taking good care of yourself, and stay away from toxic people. Have a healthy firewall in how much energy you want to give to them. In the last stage of your awakening, that is when the universe, if you are one of the so-called chosen ones, it's all up to you. Either you want to be like one of my fathers, oh, you are doing this to me, it's war, spend your energy on this. That's not what we are looking for. We are looking for someone who are following a higher calling, unification with the I am, and basically what God have done, the highest one, the great spirit, is that we simply ask, can you help us away from this toxic situation of people? What do you want me to do from now? And God will reply. Once he replied with basically sending someone knocking on my door and said, do you want to come with me? I was already then attending to Taekwondo, which gave me discipline, but I still had a lot of people around me who was pulling me down. I was in my teenager and they were doing drogas, okay? And so he was sent from heaven, and he basically put me into a place at work where I will work by the ocean. But I still had a Klingon with me, one man that was still toxic, still part that link to that old life, where I eventually managed to pull out from it and go into the Aquarian timeline for myself, where he would be someone, or for some of you, you could be dealing with a female Aquarius, doesn't matter, but they will give you space. And if you're very jealous, like low-level Scorpius would be, if you are someone who wants to own them, or you want to give them specific character traits or roles inside a house, because you cannot own the other one. Then the Aquarius energies will not fit you. However, if you feel Aquarius, they are very logic, they are very skeptical, they are unusual, they have an insane sense of humor. The Aquarius will give you freedom, they will give you support. You not only have a friend, but you also have someone who will be there for you. And if you want to join the Computer Geek team, you're very welcome. They will say, oh cool, your woman likes to join the Computer Geek team, which is how I learned to operate computer machines and play Diablo. You know? So in this sense, Aquarius energy here, the star could feel a little bit intimidated. It could be that the Knight of Coins here are moving slowly, because I feel that there are some excuses there in regards to maybe open up for that little ring that he or she wants to give to you. Because in the bottom here, deep inside, they could feel intimidated by your beauty, by your popularity. They could have put you on a pedestal or the other way around. This is emotional insecurity. It's like they're hiding a little bit of shadow, and the steps they take towards you are very, very small. Here we see that many of you have been or are in a separation period, maybe not talking. However, it also shows the symbol of true love, which is the Lion's Gate. The lion in general with wings. Basically, it is the same symbol as this deity known as Quetzalcoatl. However, that's a serpent. It's a winged serpent. But, you know, the first demiurge was also known as Yaldabaoth. Christianity says, oh, he's pure evil. However, a lion is a lion, and lion is ruled by the sun. And the reason people are attracted to Leo is because their huge heat, like it's like you've been out in the cold for a long time, and then if you are being seen by a Leo, you will, finally you will feel warm again, and you might mistake it for love. It could be. Dangers with Leo is that, look in the wild, they like to be surrounded, you know, by women. So just because you are born in the sign of Leo doesn't make you a lioness. It makes you Leo. Sun sign. Okay? So of course, you can tweak on it as much as you want and feel that, you know, you are a really good hunter and not to be messed with. However, the Leo, the lioness, will let the alpha kill the cubs so his genes can take over. And the lionesses are taking orders from the Leo. However, this is interestingly enough not a Leo card. It is Mercury in Cancer. And so this basically says to me that I feel that for some of you here, there is no communication. There is something here about Orion and the 3 stars. Maybe some of you are thinking a lot about the pyramids of Giza, or you have this idea of that you want to go there. The separation period, we're going to have a look at it and see a little bit closer. I also get that follow the Northern Star. So the Northern Star is basically your highest passion here in esoteric sense. Okay, so separation period, that's also all in your mind. You can experience it as they are far away from you. Let's see what is going to happen next. So the communication here basically is very poor, and it's very, very poor, but it might also lead to a very great transformation here. I don't know where it's best to describe from. I just want to see a little bit more clear. Clear. How clear can it be? Okay, there we have it. Okay, so we do see the torus field here, very clear. This is the energies that goes like this. So I don't know if there is Taurus in this picture, but we do have Aquarian energy again. So if you are a sidereal something and you have no connection to Aquarius, check your tropical chart. You could have Aquarius, ascendant, moon, Venus, something there. And King of Swords, someone here says, you know, this isn't working out good on my own in regards to love. Well, someone here is choosing from the heart that I want to go towards the divine feminine. That could be, or the divine masculine. That could be a Sagittarius or someone who have a strong connection to the planet of Jupiter. You could have Jupiter in your own sign as a placement, conjunct with other planets. Okay, so we do see this Virgo energy moving very slowly towards this Jupiter energy. The moon, however, and Mercury, the feelings and the mentality towards the situation is very detached, and you could feel that your loved one is approaching you from a very cold side. Here we see that he do have some kind of connection to his higher self, and that is the hawk, you know. And there is another crown here which he have put in the soil. And why does he do that? Well, if you see him as the tree of life, there is a snake and there are worms, there are all sorts of things that we think of something disgusting. But those things, the maggots and these things are the ones that break down the earth, or break down all the let's call a shit for what it is. The shit, what we fertilize. We put old food and all sorts of things that fertilizes the tree, and the maggots are breaking it down, and so the ground is as holy as the sky. The ground itself is Mother Earth. So he's putting the sword in between here. And so this king with the hawk hair or the eagle is in a connection to the higher sense of self. The crown itself symbolizes the crown chakra, and the transmutation is right behind him, symbolized by the butterfly. So in regards to what kind of love they show you, it could be cold. That could be because you are pushing them away with oh, please, love me, please. And that is kind of pushing someone away. Someone here have been or felt left out in the cold. I get that someone, I don't know, I feel this is a channel energy. I feel that someone here, they basically got their butt kicked. Get out of the door, get out of my life, or move away from here. You are no longer welcome here. There is someone of you who could have some kind of decoration on your wall of the Native American Indians. Maybe a Native American Indian riding on a horse. Looks like the horse is brown with white bliss on the front. Or you could have a dream catcher. Someone here threw you out in the cold, and this is also a part of the transformation where you have to accept the situation as it is. There is a lot of poverty attached to this card. However, this is kind of like, you know, it could mean anything from, because you see there is a couple here who are, they are handicapped and they are freezing and they need money. And we see this woman here, she's just, you know, she is so big that she clearly have food, access to food. She also, it looks like she's carrying wood on her back. So although she doesn't come out as the lady, her feet are cold, she's walking away from them smiling. So it's like someone here is taking something for themselves, because, you know, I might not have a castle, but I have a hut and I'm not going to share it with you. As you can see, one of them is still begging. Okay. We don't know the exact reason for why she's doing this, but with the red shawl around her head, shows that there are some primary needs here that are set before the right thing to do. It's like this energy of the survival of the fittest. It's showing up in reversed in regards to taking action. Okay? And that means that some of you might come out from a healing here. Okay? There is some sort of healing here that is taking process. Okay? So I dare you to say, okay, so much it be, let it be healed. Give me one more round, so let us see what else is around for you that the collective needs to know. All right, so someone here are wounded, but there is a lot of fire and passion which is directed towards you. And, you know, someone could think about you and they could feel a lot of passion. They also might hesitate because either there is this sensation of I feel intimidated when I'm around you. This is a fire energy, a fire sign. I think this could be Aries. This is my last part in my journey with the tarot before I move hopefully on to next chapter. So the ones always represent fire. Here there are someone consulting your person, maybe how to appear, maybe consulting him, because if you have a look at these ones, they are, you know, what's it called? You know, like a seed which is sprout. So there are sprouting out of this, which symbolizes hope. And so there is some hope attached to this this energy of Jupiter here. And someone have now put down the defense mechanism. They don't want to defend themselves anymore. It's like, inshallah, just leave it to God, okay? Because there is one of you here that, one of you here who have a person, unless you are a cross-watcher, in that sense, same, but different. In that sense, you could go through a lot of pain. We have 9 here twice, so something that have been painful for you is about to come to an end. And that could be exactly that. I have no longer any interest in fighting. Let's see if whoever you are out there, if there could be a strong transformational process, as though the dark night of the soul have for sure been taking place here. So some are putting down their weapons and saying, maybe it's time to just take a chance. And maybe some of you have to travel afar. This is symbolizing a big change. In a way, we say when this guy comes along, that means also there is a baby. So someone could go through a process where you are in danger of being knocked up. This is also an 8. We do have 8 twice here. So again, there is a big change in regards to that situation. And although this is not a death card, death is showing up around someone who is holding back their energies. Basically, no, I don't want to give in. No, I don't want to go through that. No, don't take away this. He's climbing on to the old system for his for his life. I refuse to because some, especially fixed signs, we don't, but this is Capricorn energy. A fixed sign, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, don't like sudden changes. We like to plan things ahead. No, that's coming ahead of us, and they could take very long time planning. And while there is someone very impatient around, which is usually a mutable sign, they could be like, why is it taking so long? Well, it needs good planning, especially if you're dealing with, especially Taurus and Scorpio. That's intense. I believe Aquarius could be a little bit more impulsive, as they are ruled by Urano. Now, 4 symbolizes death in Chinese mythology, or the Chinese belief system. So we see here that there could be a Capricorn or a Scorpio. Those star signs are very similar, and this is not serving him or her to hold back what even could also, I refuse to change. I refuse to let go. I insist on holding on to the old belief system, because he's convinced the old belief system is serving him. But 8, and death is also 8 attached to 4th. That's basically lying a funeral to the old belief system, and that's a dark cloud approaching your person, very much so. And so he might not feel all the way up there, but certainly you will never gain this. You will never gain your wings, your stardom, if you still are attached to old ways of thinking, old ways of doing things, and old ways of doing things haven't worked or served you very well so far. That is when it's time to let go. This is Capricorn energy, and if Capricorn wants to elevate him or herself here into the Aquarian energy, you or whatever you're holding on to, a belief system or a lot of stuff. You know, you have to make a sacrifice. A sacrifice have nothing to do with the corpses of animal people, or you know, I'm going to put all my gold rings in front of Buddha statue. A sacrifice is you doing something because your body does not belong to you. A sacrifice is for you stretching out a hand to this poor couple here who are in need of a little bit heat. She could give them a cup so at least they have their heat. Like I said with this channel before, when I worked hard, now we are still not attached to the bridge, to the rainbow bridge, so that cup of coffee will come in return, right? But what I did say is that when we keep free lives as this in real life, and no one donates, I will not have, because something is going to happen soon, you know, and someone wants to give you also, there is someone here who wants to open up. They have a huge plan for something, and they want to teach you something that has to do with the physical discipline. And that's not necessarily for all of you. And they might say, you know, let's Shiva decide what you pay based on, because not all of you have the same income. So that's also what Kalari used to be based on. However, then the rich tourists come and all of a sudden, you know, it's a price anyway. And of course, if you have that as a living, there needs to be some kind of exchange. All right, so you can't serve people if you do not have any food, and that's exactly what you need: food, water, shelter. There's going to be someone who show me they want to establish something, and they are very determined about it. Maybe that's why this person is also holding on to these coins very much, because he wants to invest in some kind of platform. It could be, you know, a new business. And in order to do that, he needs to put his own coins in order to start building that. Because there are so many angles to see this, right? And so from my angle, I do see here, from the scrying, from looking here in the glass, where we see numerous of different Taurus fields that have nothing to do with the star sign of Taurus. It's the other way around. So the word Taurus actually is probably derived from the word Taurus field, just like the Torah and the word or the name Tor. Okay, it's a quantum field, magnetism, electromagnetism. You find it in the apple. Okay, enough about that information. What if this person says that we want to keep this club, base the club on donations, where I will teach you for free? Because how it benefits me is that I get in better shape for now. I get to become a better teacher. And so if one person donate, let's say $5 each, which is not a lot if you live in the United States, to someone, it depends on the finances, and someone can't afford so much, they donate $1, and then the one day someone don't have anything, so they donate a flower or something that could be useful for the club or for the person who invested their time in there. So you might meet someone like that in the future. It could be you that are planning such a structure. And that means that if you are like that, or if you know someone who are like that, that means that they have taken back their authority, and they are pretty stubborn about it, that no matter how you threaten me, or no matter how much you see this, I'm still going to follow my high calling, and there is nothing you can do. You can threaten me with death, whatever you want. I decided that this is how it's going to be done because it is a high calling. So you will be tested, or this person will be tested. What are those money going to go for? Well, let's hypothetically say that if it is a martial art club, the money must go back to stuff like that could advance the martial art club. Thank you so much, the spirit guides. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Need to cleanse a little bit here. So that means that those donations will go back to equipment for the club, to improve the club. Let's say you need yoga mats. Okay, so we buy yoga mats. Until then, you need to bring your own, and not everyone have their own. Okay, so I see someone here who have big ambitions, but they're still a little bit afraid, and that could also be because it's a higher calling, the star, right? Or judgment day. So maybe they are holding a little bit back in fear because they've never been a star before. It's a scary little thing. So when you see this person, or this could be your person, you need to know that although they seem to be less generous, it could be that they in fact have plans on moving in silence like a shadow, and then in the end of the day it's about the light. It's about a higher calling. It's about ascension from primordial energy. And so, like I said before with this channel, it was the same time when I was doing free spreads. If everyone could donate just $1, even if you don't have it, but if just 500 people of all the 2,000 people came and could donate $1, it would be more easy for me to also give out greater content. However, people are getting used to getting stuff for free. And we do see also that YouTube now is based on you promoting you with your own money. Okay? And so that's a great thing for the people from the West who have money. It's not so great for those who are actually giving out very good content. So this person is standing up against that. He's standing up against all the new stuff. He sees that he needs to let go of his old way of thinking. As if you have a good look, there is also this, I've seen this bird a lot in India. It looks like a crane. She has this on her head because her mind is enlightened. She's also a symbol of Ishtar or Inanna, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She's also basically a Pleiadian symbol. So some of you could have Pleiadian blood. I'm not or Pleiadian DNA or Pleiadian compatibility or a blueprint. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so it looks like someone here are at that crossroads. They're holding on to the coins. They want to come towards you. We also have 4 popping up again, which is basically popping up on 4. And so they need to, in a way, go through some kind of death-like process which is attached to the butterfly. And in order to get out of the cocoon, you need to fight. You need to fight. You need to push and push and push. So you can become strong. Just like when you, in fact, die, because there is no thing as death in reality. When you in fact are passing away, you will be met first with the light, and then you will have a second chance you will meet the so-called jesters that Joe Rogan is talking about. And that's when you realize that those monsters are all your own projections of your shadow self. So whatever maliciousness that you tend to project in others are also your own projections, because they haven't been healed, or you haven't been you don't control them. You might continue attract them, especially if you yourself have a great light, or go under vocabulary as the so-called chosen ones. That is the 144,000 with all the seals are open. You could be a light warrior. There are so many words to it, and they will even go as far as saying your frequency is higher. Well, I told you before, high frequency heart rate is not good for you. It's high blood pressure or something like that. But if you run really, really, really fast and you're used to it, and your heart beats slow with a low frequency, and you need less oxygen, that is when you are physically aligned, at least. So what the heck are they talking about? Higher frequency. Check out George Cavazos. He's talking a little bit about it. There are many things that have a very, very high frequency, but they don't serve you at all. They serve a very decadent or destructive purpose, or negative purpose. So try, and some of us, we are so used to talking about high frequencies that in the end of the day, it's about having maybe a light frequency, a calm frequency, or just simply be aligned. And when you are aligned, that's when you constantly see synchronicities, and you are so creative that you start literally to not only have lucid dreams, but you also start to rewrite your story of the life you live. However, you have to fight old programming, and you need to learn how to use your language correctly. I've studied this for a decade in regards to the language. I studied the language in regards to neuro-linguistic programming for 2 decades. And it has nothing to do with bragging about it. I'm just saying that for 2 decades, we see that it works. So in this crossroad here, we see that one of the crossroads, you will have the ability to go to the south here, and you will be met by a mountain. That mountain could literally be a Viking grave filled with gold. There is a castle there, or a temple that might attract you, and there are other so-called Viking-like grave there. So what does that mean? That means that it doesn't necessarily matter where you go, you will in the end up somewhere, because in the end of the day, you're always here. But this individual is thinking, where should I go now in regards to my love? So there is someone here who will be met with obstacles, because right now Mercury is going retrograde in the star sign of Sagittarius. And what is Sagittarius? Well, they are the teachers of the zodiac. They are the real hierophants of the zodiac. However, they don't teach old dogmas. They are light individual, very intelligent individual, Bruce Lee was a Sagittarius, so they are very swift. They are also hunters, and they have this bow. They shoot. They are half horse. So my mother, she was one of the greatest runner in school, and with her Scorpio, we do see the rage, Bruce Lee rage, and they are swift. They have quick reflexes. So what happens when this, but they're also philosophers and teachers, and in the beginning of their life they might take a journey or just travel casually, and then they will be beaten up by life, but they will still wait for you with passion, depending on rest of their chart. Someone here are waiting for you, and they for some reason they have luck coming in for them. Maybe you are the lucky bringer of luck with the literally. I used to find hundreds and hundreds, and I made bouquet out of this as a child. And I didn't look for them. What does that tell you? If you're going around and you're going to look for them, you tell the universe, I'm looking for them. Okay, keep looking. But if you're not looking for them, they will pop up literally everywhere because you're not looking for them. So I came home to my aunt. Here is another bouquet of 4 clovers. This is also Jupiter energy. We have 2 on the card, and it seems to me that with 6 of coins here, there could, for some of you who are waiting, especially if you are a fire sign or you're dealing with a fire sign, I see that this is the end of the chapter. If you ain't here now, there might be a separation, or you might try to come together again. And some of you are literally the bringer of luck. You could be the one that are the bringer of the 6 of coins, which is a very primordial energy. 666, carbon is 666, the basic consciousness of the cerebellum, I believe it's called. Cravings, lust, there could be a lot of cravings and lust in the between of you. Is it love? Well, we get 6 again, 3 and 3 and 6. So it's very, for some of you, if you're dealing with a fire sign, the attraction is exceptionally strong. There is someone here, possibly again a fire sign, or someone here with strong Aquarius energy, who have lost a significant amount of money, which could have affected the family and whatever they've been working with, on and with who. And what is the resolution for this, or how this exactly happened? Not sure yet. There could be trickery here when we see that there is a woman here who is already poor, and she's someone who would basically, if she was in this room and she had the chance to rob me of my Hamsa, she would do that, It's bad to say it, gypsy fingers, but let's just say I come from a family of gypsies, and the siblings or the cousins on my father's side, they have gypsy, those not so nice gypsy fingers On the other timeline, or the other bloodline, we are tarot readers, singers, dancers, and like to decorate ourselves and other typical archetype of gypsy. Some of you could be dealing with another card reader, or someone who likes to be a fortune teller, and maybe they will have the answer for you in regards to the money. Someone here is too proud to accept an opportunity which the bringer of luck is coming towards. Someone here is coming towards another one, but is too proud to accept the opportunity here. The opportunity here from when Aquarius here goes dark, this vibration, you might already have given your person several of opportunities to join some kind of project that you're on, but you've been met with sarcasm because you see that this individual are struggling with maybe the bank. We see someone here who are in the bank, or used to be in the bank, or someone who used to be well off, but they don't feel really good about whatever they did to someone else. Okay, so if you are the bringer of luck, maybe you are the one, or someone here are coming back to take a good look at this individual one final last time. Because if it's a twin, it's meant to be that you will see each other once, and separation, and then maybe a last time. In that sense, one will maybe do nothing at all, and one will do the hard work in regards to go through that struggle. But in the end of the day, you need to meet each other halfway. If there is only one person who is doing all the hard work and have a lot to show for in regards to how they could have helped you, or you can have helped them in regards to their money issues, because the money issues that people have is usually all in their head. And I made a few videos a couple of days ago, before the final haircut. Yeah, I cut my hair. Yeah, and I will tell you, I might touch a little bit on the subject, what this lack mentality is. It is a programming. And if you truly believe and you live as if you are exceptionally abundant, the universe have no choice but to respond to exactly that. And Aquarius here is abundant because he's a king. And maybe this energy is someone who have a lot of freedom. They can go anywhere they want because that's what Aquarius do. They are free. Look at the wings, right? And they can say, you know, I can use my logic or my skills, which might seem far-fetched, to give you a helping hand because I love you, or I see potential in you, and you are in lack mentality. Personally, I've seen it before. One man, Taurus pride, he tried to draw a fantasy figure, and I said that, you know, I used to get an A in that stuff. I've drawn fantasy figures since I was in mama's belly. And I'm really good with shading with the pen, and so do you want me to help you so you can get a better grade? No. He didn't want it, because the way he did it was just fine. He didn't get a good grade. And at the time, I had to join forces with two very young people at the university. They were 20, and I was old. Still am. And First of all, they refused to follow the orders that was given to them by the teacher. And I said, first of all, you need to follow the orders, which is given to you by the teacher. And for some reason, the one that came up with the idea, she automatically assumed that because she came up with the idea that she would also lead the project. So a 20-year-old girl with no experience within entrepreneurship at all, because I already was an entrepreneur before I took that class, I said that, that's not how you do it. And why did you point yourself out as a leader? So basically, I was forced to go directly to the source, to the teacher, not to tell on her, because she's a good girl. The idea she had was quite beautiful, actually. I still support her in that case. I said she's not following, the basic principles. I worked for many years as an entrepreneur. She doesn't trust what I am telling her. She don't want to listen due to pride. And it's like this. There are a lot of things you can tell people and they don't want to listen because they think you are telling them off, or they feel or think that you are judging them. Okay? Because deep in there could be some sense of shame, or this, if you're constantly walking around and thinking that everyone are attacking you, you might misunderstand and think of what someone is saying to you as an attack. I said to this woman, you should check out this article here about holism, about being whole. And she started screaming and shouting and said, why are you calling me an alcoholic? And she would send me all these lessons about the reason she was not an alcoholic, which is basically what I didn't tell her at all. But truth is that she was an alcoholic. She's still an alcoholic. So in her head, she didn't see that I wrote holism, not alcoholism. So I would get my ears full and she would tell me, F off, don't you dare call me an alcohol. Isn't why are we talking about that, So I don't know, just that idea made me speechless. Anyway, when I was in this group, they let me go off the group and I was forced to to work alone. I ended up with an A, wrote a children's book, made a park for children, put it into an extra book, activity book. I presented it pretty well. I speak, have no problem with public speeches, used to that, got an A. And they ran off with a C. So, point is, if someone rejects stuff or things that that this works, this is the key. You're being met with sarcasm, and they think they know you based on very little they have seen from you. In the end of the day, are you going to spend a lot of time on trying to save that person if they still are in that mentality? I'm going to fix this on my own. Yeah, with the same brain that made that mess, and you're going to blame that mess on someone else. And when you literally ask God for help, do you think God will descend down to earth in a shape like this? Or maybe they will look like Jesus, or maybe it will be an elephant looking like a Ganesha that comes talking towards you. Sometimes the help can come from the least expected person, you know, your own child. My own child, she's got 48,000 subscribers. I said to her, what is the secret? Not telling you. Okay? You know? Sometimes that beggar you see in the street is just a billionaire with a hangover who someone are making a mess with, and let's see what happened. It's his bachelor party, and he doesn't know where he doesn't know where he is. It's been a couple of days, and they pulled it maybe a little bit too far, and you basically piss on him when those 2 minutes where you sit down and talk with him and say, is it anything I can do for you, sir? What happened? And you might expect, oh, my life is so terrible, I need alcohol. And he might say, no, I just need to borrow your phone, please, and $20 or $10. And so you do that. And what do you know? That person was a multimillionaire who was about to get married. And he needed exactly someone like you with your skills. Maybe he also was single. They just pulled a prank on him. And he was, or she was, looking for someone exactly with your heart. There is a dark cloud over someone here. Someone asked for a sign from God. The sign was given. We see the wings here from an eagle. Some of you could, in future tense, now start to see eagles. That means eagles or kites or falcons. Butterflies, we will see that anyway, it's banalized, but yeah. There are very dark clouds here. Behind those dark clouds, the sun will come, and there will be a clarity into that situation. So someone here was maybe pushed out of their throne, and due to their stubbornness, which is in this case a fixed sign, they might even fall further down the drain and end up being the beggar. You are being offered knowledge. Now, working with the certain things I'm doing in regards to producing tarot cards, that needs not only knowledge, but 3 of coins, teamwork. Someone here will bring the exact knowledge needed. But there is another one here who I feel like they are so far down, they stop believing. Although they say they do believe, but they're not so sure if they believe. There is a woman here who might bring, or there is something about a woman here, blonde hair, sexually attractive. There's something about that book that might mean a lot to her. This book could be very essential to the progress for some of you, or the knowledge she brings. There could be a relationship between the two of you, and the moon here shows that there could, depending on your pride and your openness, if you're going to mock the person coming towards you with a solution, you will end up, it's very possible you will end up in the snow begging in worst case scenario. Or you might end up with someone who's been very patient to you, but there was difficulties coming towards you due to this mountain. And there is also this energy here of self resentment maybe, or punishment. You know, I'm not talking in a dirty way. Whip in the broom. The person you might be dealing with might have a very good backup, financial backup, maybe in the shape of a good boss, a father, brother. Usually this is a masculine, doesn't have to be, but usually someone who are protecting her. 10 of Wands means that she do carry a burden. In this specific tense, it is a she, because this is a Lenormand card. 6 here again shows that the sexual attraction between you is very strong, and maybe some of you are literally pretty kinky. So you might or will receive a message from this person. This person is leaving the old energies to enter something new, described by the funeral here. That is basically 10 of Swords, something come to an end, and this person will come towards you with an important message. And this person is also loyal, and this person might also be clever like a fox, but they will also point out the foxes in your life that you need to have a good look for. There is something here about a bouquet of roses, and stay away from the snake in your life, because the snake is not just slippery and that, but I see that some of you have allowed fake people into your life, pure evil people into your life, and people who like to have fun on your behalf, maybe basically using your spendings on your behalf. And the tower, with the tower here, that there could be, you know, authority that needs to be called in here. And so you need to weed them out, basically. Cut out this weed and prioritize your heart. There is a ring here which could symbolize someone wants to commit to your heart. This is make me think about a poetry that is called Rumi. It's not called Rumi, but by Rumi. I believe there is a sentence there where he says, the heart is emerald, which is pretty fitting for this one. Okay, there is something here also regarding a house. There is also something, a key attached to this house, and there is a lot of wealth. Wealth, happiness, wealth with the fishes is a very strong Asian symbol for wealth. The key to a house. And if you plan to go away or something, you will get the key. And if you have thought about, is this the right path for me or not? Here is your confirmation. The sun is a yes. So let's put up a quick Celtic cross and see how that resonates with you. So again, there will be different messages in that Celtic cross for all of you. Now, in regards to your health and fortune, I'm going to read it up from a deck. You need, if you are in regards to your health, that's something that your doctor need to determine. Just disclaimer. And in regards to luck, this is just a fun little way of checking out health and luck, going through 12 houses. So if you have a strong, whatever you have in that specific house, this message could be for you. Okay, before we enter the magnificent possible outcome. The possible outcome is also a collective. Okay, so let's see what you have in here coming for you. If you have a strong first house, or you don't, it could be completely empty as well. But the stars, they progress into the signs all the time. So there is someone here who might come with good advices in regards to your finances here. Someone here who could be Taurus, or either have a strong second house. There are some issues there, and that has something to do with resistance. There is something you resist. If you have experienced someone taking something from you, stealing, doing something illegal, they are in big chance of ending up in prison at this moment. Gemini energy. So this could be about poison or something that has to do with the throat here. Okay. So I'm not sure how to, I'm going to do it from the way I am best at doing. Please speak from your heart. In order to speak, this is the color blue, right? And the third house is all about knowledge and communication. So if you feel stuck, sometimes it could manifest itself into a tongue binding or whatever. Speak your mind. Don't hesitate to say what you need to say, as long as you stay impeccable with your words. Gemini energy. Cancerian energies. Some of you could struggle with the muscles, especially here. I see an arm for some of you. It's verification. You might check that. Again, I'm not a doctor, just going through the cards. Interesting. What is happening here? That someone here might have been playing around a little bit too much. They are getting their karma. Okay. If they've been playing around with too much, either with your money or money that you share. They could have been telling you lies, what I get. I see a feminine here punishing the masculine. Pretty badass. Could be a fire sign here in this image. There could be also a misunderstanding here. And in that case, if you hold back some information which is relevant to clear this up, and do that now, because the consequence of the outcome of that is not particularly good. Sixth house. So in regards to the work here, Virgo energy, you can, in fact, especially if you have Venus in Virgo, you might expect out of the blue that money is coming out of the blue, you could get a raise. whenever you see this, or specifically now in these strange energies, since Mercury is going retrograde, it could be that, you know, you will next year get information about taxes that might be returned to you. Or someone owe you some money. If you're a Scorpio, maybe it will be a happy birthday gift. Anyway, he's looking very happy about that specific situation. Let's move on to 7th house, Libra energy. Three of Swords. Well, usually this is something about nervousness, but it's not really 3 swords. It's 1 sword that looks like 3 of Swords because it's waving it like this, like basically space-time continuum kind of a thing here. Los nervios te transaccionan. So maybe you are transitioning into something new, and it has to do maybe with the mind as it's showing up with the sword here. So this is nervousness. I cannot tell you to take a Valium. What I can tell you is that in order to be the authority of your own nervousness, basically, is to breathe properly. And some of you are maybe breathing too shallow. You're supposed to breathe in your nose and take always as much oxygen or you know, take in as much air, fresh air as possible. It's very, very essential is what I get to you in order for you to have an optimal brain function and these kind of things. When you breathe, be greedy, because there are plenty of enough air for everyone, especially if we treat the air around us properly. Is this a health card? Yeah, it's a health card. So some of you here are being in the 8th house, Scorpio energy. Some of you here are being challenged into doing specific mudras. There are a lot of secrets and powers which are emitting from the hands. Some mudras, which is done by the ninjutsu or the ninjas, they have different mudras, you know, and it's all about rewiring the brain. I had a period where I was obsessed with mudras. And this does not mean Satan or the devil. It's just powering, you know, I love to say empowering, but it's not the correct word, basically. It is giving you power or strengthening you. Just like you see sometimes powerful people sit and they do this kind of mudra. There is something here with your hands. It could also be related to the language of light. If you know about June and the Bene Gesserit, we chatter too much, and when we chatter too much instead of doing the mantras, we are actively consenting to keep up an energy grid which is not very healthy for us. So language of light, Druidism, and some of you could be called to healing here. We also see here that some of you are attracting a robbery here. So you can avoid that simply by watching out for your wallet. Maybe you are one of those who believe everyone are so sweet. You know, I remember just leaving my wallet when I was in Ibiza, of all places, while I'm taking a trip to the toilet, on an open cafe. I trust Lord Shiva. However, I also have been stolen from a lot the later years. a Moroccan guy just basically taking my Nikon camera, walking away, no punishment. He'll get his karma, that's all right. So there could be some kind of mentality here, a habit that you have, that you don't close your purse properly. There could be someone also planning to take you down. I get the color green here is significant, the color yellow here is significant. And I think it would take place in the night. It could be robbery outside, and they could even carry a knife. That's just very specific for some of you. I advise it for everyone, but 4 out of 12 need to keep an extra eye on this one. I will do the Celtic cross on a different read, because this video is about far more longer than I had intentions to. So this is a choice, a mental choice, 2 of swords. You really are attracting a robbery, aren't you? It's coming up twice, basically here. It's a real warning. And since I'm packing my luggage as we speak, I'm gonna take it quite serious. I was traveling last year, or the year before that. When do I not travel? Carrying a very costly stone. It was, I don't know, it doesn't matter, but it was a round stone, big crystal, you know, like this. And so, like, short-term memory is gone for now. But when I went through the airport, some of the people who work there, who go through the bags, have long fingers. I'm not going to say the gypsy fingers, because that's going to throw back on me. But we call it the kleptomanpølser in Norway, means basically kleptomane sausages. You know, someone have that. And it's an addiction. And don't underestimate them, because I've been a child and a teenager too, and let's just say I was very good at it as a kid, and I had no moral, I had no regrets, until, you know, you grow up and you become friends with some of them become your clients, and so all of a sudden they don't know, although you were a kid, they don't know why you are being so extra generous in regards to what you give them. So if you truly regret and repent, it's quite difficult to write a letter to everyone you hurt, especially if you don't know about everyone you hurt. But leave it in the hands of God and just say, you know, I'm now giving back whatever I can. Maybe you will lose something, but you know, now I'm giving back whatever I can. Because usually this could be karma, that at some point you stole something from them. Maybe their girlfriend, boyfriend, or their honor, or something in their past life. So basically, some of you are going to attract someone who will basically, there was someone I told you before in my camping also. Things that apparently was given to me. And I had built up this great camping, living in the wilderness during the lockdown. And one day he just decided, no, everything belongs to me, you know. And before I knew it, it was, everything I built up was gone. I had a tent left and a cat, tiny little baby cat. So it was maybe time to walk away anyway. You know, don't cry for that. Don't cry for things getting lost. Even if it's your jewelry for your grandmother, don't cry for that. If it's lost, it's lost. But if it's this one, full of 2 months of work, programming, going into Canva, fixing things, writing things, your work from the heart, that could hurt a little bit more than a silver ring. So just be wary of that, my beautiful people, okay? We have a very ancient shield. I wonder if I still have this here. I know now why. So this is something to do with 11th house. I know this sounds very strange, but this is a message for some of you. Some of you have blood which goes back to royalty. Some of you, I know it sounds strange, but some of you might benefit from carrying one of these ancient Knight Templars symbol. And when you use it, it's also known as the Malteser cross. It's an ancient symbol. Sometimes it doesn't have these, like this, that. Sometimes it's just a simple cross, which we find in ancient red Indian, like almost looking like dream catchers, but they're not dream catchers. It is a symbol that you accumulate doing a specific mantra. But when I saw it, there was this voice that said, take it. It would do you good when you travel through certain specific authorities, which really isn't authority. So we will remove the little tag that says, oh, you were there as a tourist. No, we were there, but not as a tourist. If you know what it is, you could charge it. So there is an ancient shield here. And this ancient shield have a tower. It has water. There is a rose. It could be a Rosicrucian or connection. There is an ancient knight, feathers. Some of you could have, there could be something, if you're from India, there could be something that has to do with the peacock feather here. And then the last lines are simply, you know, vertical lines. I also get the name Rothschild, which simply means red shield. Now, how did they get so powerful? Anyway, let's move away from that last card before we read a oracle for you. Yeah. For some of you are already to take the warrior paths. It will reveal to you and get through fire, maybe. Some of you might see a cauldron, a witch's cauldron, or images of a witch's cauldron, or you might see, you know, if you do a smoke scrying, you could see certain specific symbols in the smoke scrying. I also get don't dim your light. For some of you, it is time now to become the traveler and the shepherd. That time is now up for, you know, collecting all goods, you know, you might be invited for a simple pilgrim journey. And the journey might be within also, since we have the ocean here, and since it's connected to the Piscean sign. Basically, an inner journey. Okay. And I also get that there is a cauldron in the end of the rainbow. However, don't take that too literal. I'll see if there is a message through the smoke scrying here, and then we will pull some oracle cards for you. Okay, I see don't burn your light in two ends too fast, basically. When you are ignited, because we consist of liquid, some of you must take this step by step. Okay, don't burn yourself too fast. Don't exercise too hard. Okay. Here we have a lot of Tai Chi basically, and Ia, which the background was a little bit more black. We also have the charcoal here, the Fibonacci spiral. Reminds you to move smoothly, like a ninja. There is something here also about a spiral. Some of you are, it says now, it's coming towards you. Something is coming towards you, and it's going to change your DNA profoundly. If you accept it, some of you have no choice, because you will be, or at some point, when you least know it, you might not even know it, that your DNA is changing. And how is it changing? Well, in the beginning there was sound, and it's very possible this sound was Om. Some of you might fly around with directions without really knowing what directions to take. So the open window behind me says that this is where you will get your fresh air. So follow the natural patterns. And so you're being invited to become a tracker, basically a tracker of the sound. So I'm going to move away a little bit from the light warrior, but because it's through, you know, the sound that light is created. Okay, so the thing here is that when I say you are being invited into becoming a tracker, that basically means that you need to look a little bit closer than just at the numbers appearing in front of you in regards to synchronicity. It's about what you're thinking and how that synchronizes, and that means that you are aligned. Okay, and when you look around you, you'll see that there is specific messages literally all around you. When you learn to decipher the syllables, like literally right before me here, when I look up, I see the word An. Some of you could know someone with the name Anne, or like my own name, Annette, that I was born with. And A-N, An, means heaven. So there is something here that has to do with the head. If you get a specific, you know, if you get a headache out of the blue, it could be dehydration. It could be that you're taking in a lot of information from the Akashic archive, okay? Again, I send out information about the blue dress. There is a hidden code in that, and there is a blueprint within the blue. Okay, there will be a transition from the yellow world into the blue world, according to some of the Navajo Ojibwa. There are different tribes, Cherokee. I have not memorized all of them, but the Red Indians, the original Americans, the first Americans, if you like. Okay. So that is one message. There is something, I don't know, there's some message. There is this metal band called Dio. Dio is, I think it also means God or Dios, but there could be some lyric, something about the lyrics in a song from Dio that is specifically attached to you. So maybe if you just scroll, or just go to YouTube and you plot in Dio, you don't have to love the band. There could be, I also get the name Aaron here, Aaron. Don't we have an Aaron here on the channel? Of course we have, Aaron Stark. Yeah, the Aaron name is he. There is also a name here, Torah, or something about the Torah. If some of you are of Hebrew, there could be some messages there about that. Something is rotting in someone's life here, basically rotting. There could be some food you have stocked, or there could literally be something that have something to do with teeth. Again, I get the word Rosicrucian. Anything else? There is something about riches connected to the word red, or something about riches and something about red. There's something about a garden here. Something about a garden here, and the high priestess. Fine. There is also a bridge here. It could be a red bridge. Let's finish this off. It's interesting. It's coming up. So Dio, that's a metal band, like I said. I am an old rock chick. I think many of you picked up on my Judas Priest fixation, but hence the voice, right? Now, what else do we have here? I get, there's a message here for some of you, tell them. There is also something about a place called Lima. Okay. And that is something to do with divine. And there could be something, a crystal that you're supposed to get from Lima or the country of Peru. There are also, you know, something here about a crystal. It could be amethyst. And there is a lake here which have a specific weed or a herb. I don't know the name of it. There is also the lotus there. If you have a lotus, take very good care of it. Same goes for the sunflower. Okay. Come home to your soul. And there again is another message here from Orion. There is something about anger here that needs to be taken control of. There's something about Nim. There's something about a rat here. I did actually see a rat here yesterday. Yesterday or 2 days ago, a rat. It could be a spirit animal. There is something about Annie or Annie. Again, I get the name Annie or Anne. So An is heaven. Annie could be something that is animated. So I think some of you are literally light seers. You see things that others don't. You need to know that we experience different timelines, but we meet up in a on a common field. Okay, so that's it for today. I think I get a little bit carried away. That's what we do when we channel. We have fun. All right, guys. That's my hope this gave you some answers, and love you so much, and catch you guys on the flip side.